we call it Badan POM, BPOM.
BPOM, yeah.
FDA for Indonesia, FDA.
The FDA, yeah.
Same thing. But I believe it's getting tougher because I believe that Indonesian government is trying to put much more in terms of stern regulation towards Jamu. The reason why, because Jamu is growing faster, and we are under the health department. So supposedly we should be under the industry department. It's much better, if we are under the Ministry of Industry, we believe that Jamu could go much faster. The reason why, because everything that we make, we should go through all these government scrutiny. So it's not easy to produce Jamu at the moment now. So I believe that this is the reason why the association is trying to get together with the government official, try to say, look, we are a small company, we want to need a lot of help. And we are trying to have we propose the law for Jamu law. So in fact, within this another 5 years to go, perhaps we could try to change the regulation that we do not want to go under the government regulation such as the health department, because the government is getting much stricter for us to go.
Well, there's no centralized system of getting approval. You have to bounce around.
Yes, we got under the central, of course, we are all under the central government, but still, the way we make industry, it has to go to the health department first. To begin with, and that's not easy to go through because most of those pharmacies are in the government regulation itself. So we would like to have make a recommendation that if you want to make a Jamu, just make a differentiation between Jamu and pharmacy. As long as Jamu is different from pharmacy, we can grow much faster because we are under the industry of health. So what we do now, we got to follow the rules, the regulation that which is not in favor to our industry.
Just go into some detail about that, and can you also touch, if you can, on phytopharmaca? Can you explain what that is?
Yes, we have three types of Jamu. Jamu that goes through historical value, that goes, we call it empirical value. We keep it that way, the same thing.
Are these raw ingredients?
Yes, they're the raw ingredients, the finished product too, but it's just claim based on historical value. But another thing, if you go further up, we got to go through testing, through what we call a pharmacy testing, and that's not easy too, but take 2 to 3 years, and it costs money too. But once you go to what we call the basic Jamu, what we call the pharmaceutical testing, then you go further up, and they call it phytopharmaca, that is under the clinical test, through hospital, through our clinical test by people. You got to test through people, and that would take years. And that would, of course, cost you more than 2-3 billion rupiah just for each product. And that would cost much higher. And that would be regulated as medicine by means of Jamu. And that's not very easy to go that one. So far, we have only 5 or 6 products, phytopharmaca. And that's the reason why we keep asking, why should we have that phytopharmaca to begin with? Well, to show it to the doctors that, look, we are much better, we can compete with all the
So those 5 or 6, this is to do with clinical effects.
Yes.
So for proving the claims are correct, as opposed to safety. Safety is part. That part's easier.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, I mean, the thing about herbal medicine, not the same as an aspirin. You don't just pop it and it goes away. It's a question of build-up within the body.
Yes, everything has to go to testing the body, toxicitas. We got to prove that kind of things, efficacy at the same time, and the efficient, of course, the benefit of the product itself to the people. So it's not easy because one got to test to not animals, but go to the people, the patient, and that would take a lot of time. Because you have to go through the hospital, to doctors, to show it that this is proven by the people, by the patient. And we want to have it, look, this is Jamu. Naturally, people have been taking so many years, just let it go. Why should we got to test through all the medical testing? Because this is different, because it's part of the historical value. It's the culture, the heritage. Why should we go other part? Of course, if you want to go further for the medicine, we don't care about it. But as a parallel way, we got to have what we call parallel way. That means wherever we do, just do it by itself. Historical value, that's very good. Because in China, the same thing. In China, you don't complain about what we call the Chinese medicine, just by going itself. But you want to go to prove it to the medicine, then you have to go to the medical value. It's okay. We do not want Jamu is not medicine. Jamu is part of medicine, part of the way of life, part of the drinking, part of the healthy living. So why should we go to the medicine? This is not fair, if you want to claim Jamu as medicine.
The traditional supplement.
Yes, it's part of the heritage value, part of the drinking, like a tea, like a ginger. When you drink ginger, why should you complain about, well, I want to prove it that ginger is good for medicine value? Of course not. It's good for the healthy living. We got to preserve, to protect through Jamu, not for the curing purposes. This is what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Okay, that's Indonesia, and that's the Indonesian market that understands it. What about export markets? I know you export to other countries in the region. What are your biggest?
Yes, my biggest, I would say, sales value, of course, Taiwan, because Taiwan is a very growing fast in terms of knowing and of course believing Jamu is part of the natural resources that can help for those people who got problem in terms of liver or healthy living, and they believe in that kind of thing because the natural products are now growing fast. They do not want to only to cure but to protect, not to get sick. That's the reason why they take so much Jamu.
Well, when you're selling these things across to someone like Taiwan, you've got to bring the cultural image with it.
Yes, of course, definitely, because whenever we introduce products to Taiwanese market, we show it this is the culture of the heritage of our people. It's been there, and no pollution, everything, of course, everything's done very nicely. We got good farmers, and they want to know. They come to us, they want to see what's happening, and they believe that because of the way of life people living in Taiwan is so much chemically involved, the environment. So they believe that to keep them healthy, they take our herbs, and it's growing fast. And people believe that now Indonesia is part of the best raw materials in the world to keep, and that's why the raw materials are demanded so much mostly by China and of course Taiwan.
So you sell the image of central Javan fields.
That's right. Yes.
So the cultural heart,
the culture,
of
the
Indonesia.
heritage. Of course, we got to show all the we call the wayang, all the prophet, the value of the people that living in Central Java, to show to them, look, we are healthy living, we know how to keep our face younger, live younger, and then people believe in that. I think the Taiwanese say, look, you see not only beauty of Bali, but Central Java is growing faster now.
So the Javanese spirit.
Yes, the Javanese spirit is getting much well known now in Taiwan.
But you've got wider operations outside Java as well.
Yes, of course, we got all, I think, distributor, of course, in Medan. Surprisingly, that Aceh will be the best market.
Aceh?
Yes.
Northwest tip. All right, we'll be back in just a second. We have to take a quick break, and Dr. Charles Saerang will be waiting.